Ladies and gentlemen, this is Thrice with LILT Radio coming at you from Austin, Texas, here with Battlefield Live Round Rock owner Stan Heston. It's a really cool live-action gaming company, brand new to the area and brand new to the scene. It is a interesting way to emulate what a lot of the kids are playing with Call of Duty, Halo, those tactical-style games where you're doing team efforts. Instead, you can actually go out into a field or into a playing area and hold an event, birthday party, and have a blast, just completely annihilating each other with these completely harmless, awesome tactical-looking gun, or not really guns. He's got a word for them. He's got a way of saying it. It's an amazing new thing, and there's a whole different breed coming out here. So I'm going to introduce, here's Stan Heston. How you doing today, Stan?
I'm doing great. How you doing?
So what is it that you call these again? Because I always forget.
Well, we like to use the term taggers. Tagger just seems to be the most appropriate term because they're not really a gun. A gun, shoots a projectile, so we try to prevent any misnomer or any confusion that it actually shoots a solid projectile.
Right. No, because these things actually, as far as I think, they look pretty realistic. You've had military background. What would you say compare some of the guns? Do they look like? Some of the ones you have.
Well, one of the units that I have closely resembles an M16 with the M243 grenade launcher that's attached to the underside of the barrel. So that is the most realistic looking one. We do have one that's kind of resembles an Uzi, and we have one that resembles a FNP-90, which is one that you probably see in your science fiction shows.
Right.
They look very much like it, but again, they shoot no projectiles other than infrared light.
Right, and that's an amazing thing, too, because I'm big into paintball. I got some buddies who do airsoft, and airsoft, you get BBs everywhere, and it's like you're constantly dealing with that. Paintball, it's paint everywhere, and then the price is just ridiculous. So, let me ask you about this concept, live-action gaming. Now, this is something I haven't really heard. You see the concepts on some of the new movies that came out, like that Gamer movie, where the kid was controlling that guy. But why do you use the term live-action gaming?
Well, when I first started this endeavor and looking to start a laser tag business in town, I'm finding that most of the laser tag action is you shoot, you score, you get the most points, and it's pretty much a free-for-all type of thing. What we've done is we've taken the concept of Call of Duty, Modern Warfare, and those other military simulation type video games that are on any of your big game systems, and we pulled them out into the real world. And there's a lot of military action that they do in the military as well as in the police forces and the law enforcement agencies to reenact situations or train. So taking the laser tag and meshing it or melding it with a militaristic type of action only seemed like a logical step. And instead of getting into the laser tag arena, doing the live action would give it more of a team-based effort to teach them teamwork and obtaining a goal or objective in a certain period of time to help coalesce that spirit of teamwork.
No, and I think it's a great concept, and I'm excited to play my first game on it. And I think when you can get into an area where it's going to be buildings, kind of in an urban environment, I think that would really be a blast. To really simulate that tactical kind of environment. But I know you got a simulator here to play some sounds for us. But want to talk a little bit about the different kinds of guns, because we're only going to play one simulation here today. You're actually going to, as far as I understand, you're going to be doing a blog, and you might have some videos where you're showing off the different guns, and you're also talking about the different game styles and different aspects of the tech, right?
That's correct. Our systems, we purchase our systems from Battlefield Sports, which is a company located in Australia. They currently hold, or they are the patent holders of the technology, and they've done a really great job. They've been working on this technology for 15 years. They've expanded upon it. They've made it more solid. And currently, every single tagger unit or support equipment that we use or have available, they all can perform the same functions. They currently can support 12 different modes, which goes from a master controller, which is the field marshal's tool they use to start and stop the games. Resume games, they can take players out of the game if they're not following the proper protocols and rules that laid forth. They can respawn players individually. Then there's also the tagger units, which the participants would use. Excuse me. And we also have a combination box, which is a medic and ammo box. So you can respawn, typical to a regular video game. You respawn, boom, you go. Some other functions it can do, but in the weapon mode, which they refer to as weapon mode, it can emulate 69 different weapon platforms, from handguns, submachine guns, machine guns, and rifles.
Wow.
So
what do you, with the different sounds, like I know you're going to be doing those videos, so if you want to listen, you can check out Stan's website. It's battlefieldliverr.com.
That's correct.
Okay, so you can check it out there, and there will be a blog coming there soon where you can watch those videos. But as far as the emulation of sounds, just, so we get an understanding, they're all different? Like, they sound different?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay.
For every single weapon system or weapon platform has its own unique sound and emulation. Excuse me.
So what's the sound you're going to play for us today?
The one that I have set up here is an FNP90. This is it both supports both a fully automatic and semi-automatic mode. Currently, it's in fully automatic mode. So when you pull the trigger, you'll hear the sound of a FNP90 shooting.
Yeah, that sounds pretty realistic there.
Now, if you move it over here to you push a button and you switch it to semi-automatic mode, it will only fire one round at a time, round, quote unquote, at a time.
Right. No, yeah. I mean, I play a lot of FPS, and that sounds very similar to the guns that they have on there.
Right.
As far as the quality goes, so that's pretty interesting. So now I know we've looked at these before. So explain to me what the actual tagging, like the thing that the person wears that they get tagged with. What is that called, and what is it that you use? Like, where do they put it?
Okay, well, the units are it's a handheld unit. It looks like a very realistic looking firearm. It has an infrared component to it, which when the tagger is trying to tag the taggee, I guess you want to call it, player A wants to shoot player B.
Right.
They pull the trigger, pointing the unit at the tagger, at the one that they want to tag. The infrared will then hit the other opposite unit, hit a sensor, which is located either on the head or on the vest. There's two units. Is
there a sensor on the gun? Because I know in paintball, that's a big thing. Is if you get hit with the gun, like hitting the gun, it counts sometimes. Depending on what field you're on.
Absolutely, there is a sensor on the gun itself, so that way, if people try to blind fire, the gun gets hit. You get hit. So it makes it's an anti-cheat system, which is really, really popular, and you don't find out on your typical laser tag system that you would find at a family entertainment center.
So are the sensors, like, you're saying they wear them, but it's not like a vest? Are they, just they're little pieces, right? Or?
No, they're attached to the unit with a curly cord, and they're placed upon the head with either with a headband or sweatband or something of that nature. We're currently using welding helmet inserts that they use for welding helmets.
On top of hats or on top of their head?
On top of their hat, yes.
Okay.
The unit, once the tagger then hits the taggee, then the tagged unit sends out a radio frequency signal to all of the units, and only the one that it's set for, encoded into the signal, would receive that message and then report back whether it was a successful hit, or if it didn't hit, then it wouldn't return anything.
So you're saying that if I were to shoot you on the other side of the field and it hits you, would you hear a sound and I would get informed that you got hit?
Absolutely. The tagger would get a sound that he got hit, and then the person who did the tagging would receive a message, casualty or hit, or whatever the terminology might be based on the setting that we use for the language.
Okay, and that's because you got different themes, right? You're going with different kind of skins for the games.
Well, there's different languages. One of the languages we have in here is laser tag, and that is the kid-friendly version of the game, so to speak.
Okay.
That way, instead of getting killed, you use the laser tag language, and it will become deactivated or hit.
Okay, kind of like a cyber simulation language.
It's a more kid-friendly, yes.
Right. Okay, and as far as like reload simulation, I know that's another big thing in paintball and everything. You got to reload; it takes time. I mean, even in live tactical stuff, you got to reload. Although that's a lot faster than paintball. What's the kind of reload on this? I know we heard the firing.
Well, the reload on this one, again, the emulation is specific to the individual firearm or the weapon platform that it's emulating. So here, there's two different buttons. One's for switching from full auto to semi-automatic, and then the reload, you hit that one, and it simulates the removal of the magazine, and the reinsertion of a new one, and the time is dependent upon the emulation. So Colt 1911 would have a particular, which is a pistol platform, and they would use that. If you want to go with the bolt action rifle, then you would actually hear you have to hit the button once to open the bolt, extract the empty round, so to speak.
Right.
And then you have to hit it again to reload that one round and then lock the bolt.
To simulate the extra work.
To simulate the actual work and time it takes to do the... So it's very realistic in nature.
You know, and that's I think this is amazing because the reality is you can just see that this is a step in evolution when it comes to that, simulation gaming, and I think live action gaming is a great name for it. I mean, you should trademark that because it's a great title. Because you do have all these kids. I mean, I got a lot of friends who they buy so many video games and they play all the time. I mean, this one kid was talking about a video game where it's World War II based, and you can be any of the different countries, but you got 3 different, kind of playing levels. You can play down at ground level first person shooter, or you can play up all the way at the watching the map and telling people where to go, and and then down on the middle level where you're like on the field but you're not actually shooting, you're like commanding the people right there. And I was like, that is phenomenal, because that's war is becoming a game, and I'm honestly an advocate for it, because I think that making war into a game is a way we can get away from that violent nature inside of us. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
It's a way to acknowledge that it's like, hey, we like running around and pointing things at each other and going, boom, boom, boom. I mean, I know I did that as a kid. I played cops, robbers, cowboys, Indians.
I don't know anybody who hasn't.
Well, and so, I mean, I think it's a great concept. I'm glad you came on today. One of the things, folks, by the way, is Battlefield Live Round Rock will be working with Life is Life Training on events and groups doing the live action gaming, doing team events and working with team building exercises. So that's why we have them on. And also, it's new tech, guys. I think it's phenomenal. I've talked about it before on Thrice's Download, but we wanted to put out a podcast here on LILT Info because we want to make sure you guys know what's going on with us. So, but that's all we got for you today, folks. We like to keep it short and sweet here, so that way you don't have to waste all your time listening to people ramble. But if you want to find out more, again, about Battlefield Live Round Rock, go to battlefieldliverr.com. Make sure to put that www at the beginning if you don't have a new update computer. But also, you can find him on Facebook, Battlefield Live Round Rock.
Battlefield Live Round Rock.
Okay, and you can find all his social media links there on his website. Remember to check out lifeislifetraining.com, and you can find us on Facebook as well. You can follow me, Thrice369, on Twitter. Also on, what was that other one? I forgot. Skype. You can Skype me. If you want to message me, get in touch with guest interviewing. We do have 3 more guests coming up this month. We're excited to be moving, guys. Thank you for listening, and hope you all have a wonderful day.